Aloha Zelfies! So, this is the video where we get to spend some time with the entire Zelf collection, and we play a little bit of a memory game where you try to beat me in reciting all of their names. So I consider myself a little bit of a Zelf expert, but sometimes I can be a little bit slow to recall their names. So let's see if you can remember them all along with me. And as well as remembering their names, I'm going to be talking a little bit about some of my favorite characters and whatever comes up as I record. The video where I showed you what an entire Zelf collection looks like on the shelves from left to right was just to demonstrate how, what kind of space you would need as a collector to fit all of them on. And this one's going to be a little bit more personal than that. I've also just unboxed Tahleen the Giraffe. She's so cute. And you can't see it here, but she actually has green eyes around the black pupils there. And I thought it would be fun to go around and find where Tahleen should sit as we're sort of talking and doing the Zelf tour. So let's start at the Zelf Cafe. So this is the little Zelf Cafe. And we've got Beatrice in here, Garni, Pretty Kit, Little D, Polly Roger, Wabina, Flamey, Cindy Moo, and Rainbow. Let's just put, now Tahleen's going to sort of check in with all of these spots. And at the end, we're going to decide where her home really is. Although I do switch things up anyway. So we'll just put her next to Wabina for now. So Rainbow was definitely one of my favorites because she has the tiny little hoof feet and little hands, and she just seemed like she's got a lot more details than some of the other Zelfs. She's super cute and pretty. She's got a little tail at the back. So that's Rainbow. And it's interesting because that was one that I liked straight off the bat. She's so cute, and she's got even little rosy cheeks. She's standing next to Cindy Moo, who is a cow, with nice pastel pink hair and green eyes. But I've grown to love her because she's just got this pastel-y pink hair, and the white and black is actually really cute, and it looks like she's wearing a black glove. So I put those two together for now. And then we've got this trio over here. Flamey has always been one of my favorites, and when I've made little comedy sketches and think of creative ideas, Flamey has always been a big factor in that. I like to make her have a really manic personality and jump around. And then we've got Tahleen falling down over here. And then this playset comes with a little swing. We've got Wabina. Wabina's a favorite, and I believe a lot of people like Wabina because she's just got a unique design, and a lot of them, there's not a lot of Zelfs that have a darker coloration like this. So it's really, I'll put this flat, it probably looks a lot better. So she's got a really cute design with the hearts and the webs. And everybody likes that creepy cute aesthetic these days. You can see with the popularity of Monster High and things like that, people really like the diving into the unique, almost goth sort of aesthetics these days, but creepy cute. That's actually really a popular concept in Japan as well, the creepy cute things. But I've always actually really loved spiders from a distance. I would get freaked out if they went on me, but I think they're really beautiful, and I think that raindrops on spiderwebs are really beautiful. Really beautiful things. So we've got the little swing here, and that actually moves. That comes with the playset. And I thought Polly Roger should go on the swing because, well, for now at least. And sometimes I have her standing up there because, you know, pirates standing and looking out at things. That makes sense, doesn't it? It did for me. And we have her in the little swing. And Garni was the one that got me into this whole mess. Garni over here. She's the one who got me addicted to Zelfs, the little terror, and her Zelf power is meant to be apparently awesomeness. And she has, I think you can actually see it here, she has green eyes, a purple body, and black hair. And I just loved her aesthetic because as a teenager, I used to be sort of bohemian, a little bit hippie, but mostly goth. With my own fashion and the art that I would like, so I really liked her. And I actually found her on the shelf at a Woolworths while I was sort of feeling a little bit sad and going to visit a friend. And she reminded me of my childhood and collecting toys, and yeah, she got me back into the whole thing as an adult, so it's all your fault in a good way, young miss. And I'll take her out so you can see. Well, I'm going to knock over the whole cafe here. But she actually has cute little rosy cheeks as well. And wings. She's got wings and the little power mark. Zelfs call it power marks, and I've heard My Little Pony calls these the cutie marks. They've got the little Z or Z for Zelf. So I won't bore you by fitting her back there. So I'm just going to move on quickly because we're already taking a bit of time. So this is Princess Cristela. She is one of my favorites. Well, they're all really. It's hard to pick. But I like, say, with Cindy Moo, where I didn't like it. That's the thing about collecting them all, is if I were to pick them out individually, I wouldn't have picked her, but I wanted to have a complete collection, so there were some that I just included for the sake of the collection, but over time they've grown on me, and I was able to appreciate all of their designs. And toy design and art is something I'm interested in myself, as well as voice acting. There's so many things I'd like to do, just creativity in general. So it was very good to get this entire shelf and get to know them all. So this is Princess Cristela, and the reason I have two is I bought a bulk lot off a lady, and some of them I've sold or traded to finish my collection, but there were a few that I kept as doubles because I just felt like they couldn't be separated and that they were twins. So it's a little bit bright, but if I can move us into a dark space. Princess Cristela is amazing. She actually has this little gorgeous little magic girl-esque heart in the middle of her chest, and you press that and she lights up different colors. So it's like light blue, dark green, pink. But for the sake of the film, it's quite bright in this room. But yeah, you can see it a little bit there, but her hair takes on the color of the light, and her wings actually flap and move like that. So that's actually quite graceful little movements, as well as like a bit like a little cheapy because she's got stumpy hands and feet. And I felt that my Princess Cristela, with the lady who took such good care of her collection that sold a lot of them to me, they go together. So they were inseparable. I couldn't separate them. And one of my absolute favorites that makes me smile every time, we've got Powerpuff. And when I showed some people a photo of this little dude, this little hero, Powerpuff, they actually thought that he was a custom because he's just so creative. So he's the superhero Zelf. And he's so cool. He's got streaks in his hair. He's got the pink. He's got the little paw print. And then he's got his little cape. And he's actually got not... Some of them have plastic tails, but he's actually got the little furry tail at the back. So that's Powerpuff. And he's one of the best. And he is also one of the easiest to find. They don't sell Zelfs anymore. But when you're looking... The season 6 super Zelfs, which is this large size ones, are actually not that bad to find. I mean, relatively speaking, they're all hard to find and quite pricey by now. It's 2017 and I started collecting them in 2013, where I found little Ghani in the Woolworths. But you mostly find these in Toys R Us and now eBay, Amazon, and traders groups on Facebook and forums and things like that if you were interested. So this is Tressa. She's meant to be sort of have a Venus, no, it's not a Snapdragon, Venus flytrap aesthetic. I'm not going fast enough to trip you up. So we've got Harmony. So we've got Harmony the pop star. And this one, I swear, if I did not know that this was Moose Toys made in Australia, I'm very proud as an Australian that they're an Australian company that did the reinvention of the trolls with these Zelfs, because I really like these designs and the face. And they're all different. They've all got different ears and colors, and not just the troll dolls had different outfits and hair colors, but with the Zelfs, let me just show you. See how her ears are pointing to the side? The Zelf and her mouth is like that. See, this one's got pointy up ears, and then you've got one with these kind of ears. I mean, they're basically the same shape, but they are quite different in many ways. And it's not consistent, like some of them have the plastic tail and some of them have texture on them. So this was a custom that I made myself of, originally looks like this one, Dandelion. And I've called him Space Lion. And see, just the pastel colours that I've done him in, the little decadent thing. But I swear, I got off track. I swear, if I didn't know that this was made in Australia, I would think this is very kawaii, very sort of J-pop culture with the it just has that magic girl with the big crystal and the bow, and she's got this bow on her back as well, and the pastel hair, and the fact that she's a pop idol, that she's got that harmony. And this is the sit and swing, which comes with this one, the little frog, Rebeta, over here. And we've got Mystery here. I bet you beat me to it with her. And Pandela. The Pandala, or Pandala. The panda, obviously. And this actually, let me move you out of the way, because it's going to whack everybody in the head. Let's just check, do a little safety check. Okay, you're not going to whack anyone. So that was why I wanted to leave space. So the funniest thing is it actually works. Wow. They would be really dizzy. And the funniest thing with this is when you do that and it comes to a stop, their hair is actually blown back the way you would draw as a little kid. Like the wind has just blown their... They've got this Medium setting. Being blown back. Absolutely gorgeous. Princess Tia. Again, she was one I thought, like, she looked cute in the box, but it wasn't until I opened her up that I just saw how pretty she was with the sort of faded makeup. It's not really showing for this camera. It looks a lot more solid than it does with the eye because it's actually fading. It looks dark pink, which it is, but it's actually got a bit of a gradient going. She's got that. I do think they've been influenced by a little bit of that pop culture because that makeup is quite popular. Well, at least in that kind of thing. She has got the pinkest hair out of all of the Zelfs, like the bright coral pink hair. She's gorgeous. And she also has very pretty shaped eyes. All of the Zelfs have round eyes, but again, it's not so clear, but she's actually got almond shaped eyes. And instead of a chubbier face, I'll just put another one for comparison so you can see what I'm talking about. Put her here. Stand up here. And we'll just grab Coco. Just another pink one. And you see how it's got like more chubby cheeks, and this one's got more of a V-shaped face and eyes, and this one's got more round eyes. And you can see even with him, Sheldon over here, how he's got a different shaped eyes, how it's actually a line and then a circle. So they're all got these subtle, and his ears are different to her ears. So they're going for a underwater aesthetic with him. So I put those two together because I just thought that they seemed regal. So, and it's the pink and blue thing. Yin and yang balance. So we've got Sheldon over here, and he's actually got a tail. So he looks like a Triton or King of the Sea kind of cutified version. And his tail, all of the tails, when they have tails, move. And I really love the tails, not just because they're cute, but if they've got the tail, they usually stand up better because you can just... Wow, my hands look so wonky through the lens. That's so strange looking at it like that. You can put the tail down, and it helps them stand up better, I find, the ones with the tail. So I've only got one hand, so I'm not doing this perfectly, so I'll fix that up later. But they go really well together, princess with the crowns that they have. Oh, I can't help myself, I'm fixing that up. And the big ones stand up quite well because of the feet. It was just one-handedly I was skidding them around a bit, but they look like a cute pair. And put these off camera where I just, oops, you need to see that. Pandilla is just having a camera in her face right now. So this is Coco, the little poodly one. She's cute. And yeah, again, one of those ones that I was just okay with, and then she's really grown on me over time. This is a Novi Star. Light. The Novi Stars actually have indented eyes with real eyelashes. They're quite pretty. They're gorgeous. And that's not their normal body, but they actually have bodies that don't really move that much. So I've made a hybrid with a Bratzilla or a Monster High. It was just a spare body I bought, and my unicorn, which I've had since childhood and I've restored. It used to be pretty grey and brown and completely beat up. And I got some food dye. I re-dyed his tail and sort of did a gradient on his tail. It was a pastel pink, but I added some darker pink and just repainted the white, repainted the gold. The gold had completely come off, and I just restored some of my favorite toys and gave them the respect that I think they deserve. And then we've got this sakura tree with Bella Blossom. And you know, at first I was really worried about how long this video would be, because I know this would not appeal to most people. Nobody wants to hear me go on. And I was originally going to break it into 3 videos, but you know what? I saw this guy called Sween. I can't say his name. And he was reviewing the Novi Stars and some other toys. And he had a really sort of soothing voice, and his videos were quite long. And I just watched so many of them, and they helped me go to sleep. And, you know, if you're talking about toys, it's non-offensive. So even if you don't want to hear about Zelfs, if you're anything like me, sometimes, you know, there's a place for everything. Sometimes these videos about nothing really are kind of relaxing, just to have something in the background that you don't have to think about that much. So that's my justification for having a really long conversation with you. I just wanted to talk about them. But really, so that's Bella Blossom, and she is actually the cherry blossom one. She was the last one that I found. She's got the wings. Gosh, and she's got that tousled pastel pink and white hair. So I put her with the see, once I move something, I had it set up. Artie is very sentimental to me as an artist. I really love him, and he's just super cute. He's got a nice design, rosy little cheeks. You can't see it here, but if we can put him under this bed lamp. No, that just makes it worse. I'm new to filming. I podcast. I don't film. So if you can see that, you can probably look up a photo of him. He actually has he has David Bowie eyes. He has Ziggy Stardust eyes. He's got that, instead of the lightning bolt, he's got this splodge. And then he's actually got one eye that's pink and one eye that's green. So he's super cute and very, very cool. And then he's got the crystals and a little bow on his apron and that rainbow hair. So he looks absolutely lovely. And seeing that Pyrrha is all about theatre, this Pyrrha doll, I found her over a decade ago in a secondhand store. I don't know how old she is. She winds up, she plays like a very melancholy tune, but her music box is broken. And I don't know how to fix that. But she used to play a melancholy tune, and she's just a very pretty porcelain Pyrrha. And they always, when I would move things around, they would always end up together. So I feel like they're friends, and it makes sense because they're both a symbol of art. So if you look that up, the Pyrrha and the Harlequin, they're very contrasting. They have a long history with artists and actors, that kind of doll. So that was a little trivia over there. These are the Design Your Zelfs one. They actually have sparkly eyes, you can't see, but they've actually got glitter in the eyes. And all of this looks a lot better in the daytime, but as I said in the other video, I've got noisy neighbors and I live in an apartment. So the best way to film things is to actually do it at night with a little bit of shadow. I actually think they actually have 2 different faces. This one's smile is really wide, and this one's got a smaller smile. That was actually a design change. Some people thought that the wide smile was a bit too weird once it got to a certain size, and so they made this one have a smaller smile. But I think they're both cute for different reasons. I mean, this one does look a little stranger, but I kind of like it. It's a bit like they are meant to be sort of fey creatures, otherworldly creatures, so I really like that. I think they're really cute. And I got two because I hope to get another one, because the original idea was I wanted to get a second so I could have one that's for the collector purposes, and then the other one I actually have decadent. I've got the whip, and I've got paints, and I've got glitter, and I've got all these cool things, and I was going to absolutely deck one out and keep the other white. But because they both got the different smile, I actually wanted to keep that. So I was looking for two other things for this Zelf. Was one more that I was going to paint and ruin forever, but in a good way, and the Zelf tin to keep all of the accessories in. So I'm just using a nice box for now. Then we have, I might break this up into part 1 and part 2 once we go down. But then we have the rares. So Miss Clover I actually got on my birthday from the person that I am dating. There's Miss Clover, Dolly. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. And Pyrrha, Rainbow Manny. I'm lucky enough to have a Rainbow Manny. Clear Cat, Snowflake, and Merry-Go-Round. So we've got all of the rares in my display case. I sometimes like to take Miss Clover out because she is very shy, but she also seems to be... It feels sad just to have them stuck behind there, so I like to write stories and sketch. So I like to take them out and let them get some air. So we've got this shelf over here. So let's do a quick. So we've got Peekaboo, we've got Lullaby, Patrina, Sneakaboo, Stardust, and Snapjack Buttykins. And I get this confused if she's Skeleta or Sketalia. She's one of my favorites, but I always confuse that name. And there's all the masquerade versions. So we've got Flamey, Spelinda, Buttershy, Marmalade, and Pegasus, the Pegasus. So I'll just do a close-up of her because she's super cute. Actually, in her masquerade form with the little pink eyes, glittery eyes. Whoa, that's blurring. Let's see if we can get that better. And there we go. So that is Pegasus. 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 There we go. There you go. And always love all of them. But this one is universally a favorite of many people because she's just got a cool design. And she's got even got the details on the back, which is really cool. Not a custom, that's how she actually was. So she is cool. Very cool. So moving on, we have got Mint Spelinder, Strawberry Vampooler, Berry Buttershy, Frostet, Bubbly. Now, like Cindy Moo, this one's not only grown on me, but she is actually probably in one of my top 10 favorites. But Bubbly is absolutely adorable. She looks a little bit alien, which I like. as you can see from collecting the Novi Stars. If you look up Novi Stars doll, Novi, they've got quite the alien aesthetic, so I actually she grew on me. I really love how shimmery she is, how weird she looks, and she is one of the few scented ones that retained her smell, and she smells really nice. She has a really pleasant smell. So I absolutely love Bubbly, and I actually, with my podcast, I did some guided meditations, and one of my guided meditations was about floating inside of a bubble. And that was inspired by Bubbly over here. I was just looking at her and thinking about what it would be like if you could literally just levitate. So I do get ideas from looking at them. They're quite relaxing. And we have got, over here, we've got Frostel. And I used to get Frostel and Frostette confused. But she is magnificent. The snow-themed ones of any kind of thing are usually quite pretty. She's got the frosted wings and the crystals, the glittery wings, but she's absolutely beautiful. And she's got the nice shaped eyes and the little pastel-y cheeks. So we'll put her back there next to Flitter, the little dragonfly Zelf over here. So some of them have got tails and wings. They've all really different designs. Just absolutely. And we've got the crystal ones. So we've got Starkle over here. And Moona. He's a Sandman one. He's got the moon in him. And there was actually Mystery was meant to be with her crystal ball. But we've got Koala, the koala, over there because I just felt like Mystery was giving advice to so many people. And like real card readers or counselors, I feel that she just needed a bit of a holiday on the swings. And I thought it would be really funny to have a sort of lazy, chilled koala take her place instead. So we just got the fortune-telling koala right here. Oops. There we go. So this one's got the pastel-y hair as well. Yeah, it's very faint, but it's a very pastel-y. Yeah, it's a very pastel-y. It looks white, but it's actually a very pastel-y pink. And just for the eucalyptus, they've got a little bit of green on the hand, so that's cooler. There's Chocolat. And the large dandelion, who's glittery. He's got the wings. Again, he was one, I admit that I wasn't so fond of at first, but he's grown on me. I absolutely adore this marmalade. Even though it says it's a she, I think this one's a he, and I like calling it marmalade over here. So we've got the he. And we've got, this one's meant to be a Chinese dragon. It's very shimmery, silvery color. That's not white, it's a silver. In better lighting, you can see that. And the movable tail. It's got the movable, posable tail. Like all of the arms and legs are posable. And you can move their heads. But I've only got one hand over here. So that one was, some people find it cute. I find it unfortunate. They called this one Noodles because it's a Chinese dragon. But I renamed her Moonbeam because I just felt that was a lot less cringy to call her Moonbeam. So that's Moonbeam. And this is the giant Flitter. My absolute favorite and one of my originals that I had was Dorothy Doe. And I feel horrible saying this. I actually ummed and erred about getting her before I decided to collect. When I was buying them individually, I actually thought that she was ugly. Can you believe that? I thought she was ugly. And she is honestly my favorite one, and she is the most beautiful one. The pastel pink and white is just so lovely. And the the glitter and the reindeer and the little rosy cheeks here motif, and her cute little tail that moves. This tiny little tail moves. So she's got this cute little tail and the little white feet. I think she is too cute. She is in my top 5. I absolutely love her. And like with Noodles over here, I've renamed her to Deidre. Just, it's less of a mouthful than Dorothy Doe. So I've got Deidre, Moonbeam. The rest of them I really like their names, so I like to keep it canon unless there's a big reason to change it. So poor Noodles over here is the only one I've changed name. Then we've got Barbara, the sheep. She's very shimmery as well, very pretty sheep. Sort of had the pastel pinky ones, sort of kept them over here on the pink shelf. Then we've got Swander. She's gorgeous, pastel pink and white, shimmery blue makeups, and then the rosy swan designs, and then she's got these very nice wings. She's got one of the nicest wings with the yeah, she's gorgeous. Swanda, absolutely beautiful. Put her back over there. The pastel ones over here. Then we've got one of the ones I was dying to get my hand on was Float. She's got the pastel pinks and blues. I just love that. Absolutely love that. And then the clear silvery wings. It's very pretty. And I just love her name as well, Float. You sort of imagine her being a little bit like a non-scary Mewtwo. Then we got Dolly, the moth that my boyfriend just calls Moth. We've got Dolly. We've got Cyril, Teeny Genie, Catsby, Alpha, Flitterbell over here. Falls down. She's a big favorite for a lot of people. Very cute. She's got the shading around the makeup around her eyes and the two-toned hair. She's got the detailed butterfly. And then she's got some of the nicest wings as well. She's actually got it. Not many of them have such detailed wings on the back, but that's quite lovely. And just the brightness of her. But loving my sci-fi and space. You can't go past Galaxia with her little antennae and purple colors. And she's got the stars up the side. So she's really cool. Then we've got Angel Hop over here. Another one worth taking a close-up of. She had white and gold with gold streaks in her hair, pure white hair. Absolutely lovely, white and gold. And then this one's got the golden wings. But she's definitely very pretty, gorgeous. Now Smoothie the monkey over here, she was one, like Cindy Moo, she was one of my least favorite ones. I've never been a big fan of monkey kind of things, but I absolutely love her now. I think she's adorable. She's a little cutie, and I love her little tail. She's the most animal looking one. She's completely different looking to the rest. Different ears, different kind of tail, very bright tropical colors, lots of colors in her hair. Yeah, she's really cool, very cheeky, but she's barely a Zelf almost. She's you wouldn't know, like the others have got this distinctive, even with the alterations, they've got this distinctive, besides her hair, she's really just like a little monkey. So yeah, at first I didn't really like her, and I didn't like the whole bananas smoothie, haha, okay, but she really grew on me. I think that's actually super cute, so I love her. We've got Cupie and Gargoyle. Cupie's an absolute favorite. Look at the hair. We're showing the hair over here. Let's just put this down. So we've got Cupie and Gargoyle. So oops. So we got Cupie. Very cute. I love the pointed ears and the gradient with the gold and white, dark pink and light pink in the hair. Very nice. Very nice. And then even the wings have got, look at that. That's absolutely gorgeous. You've got the double whammy. You've got the angelic wings with bows and hearts. I mean, how pretty. You've got all the pretty little things plus the glitter all in one. So that's really lovely. Then you've got Gargoyle, but she's got little flecks of grey, so she's meant to have that gargoyle. But I always liked the idea of a gargoyle being a protector. But they've given this cute little touch that she's actually, besides Clover, she is actually the shyest little Zelf. And apparently she turns to stone from being shy. So she's got a little bit of social anxiety, but she is meant to be an excellent friend. She's got that pastel pink and lemony yellow skin, pink eyes, the bat kind of wings. She's really cool. So she grew on me as well. Now, Yvette, I really love the S6 Super Zelfs. I love, love, love them. They're just so cool. They've got the most unique designs. They're not just big versions of the smaller ones. Although some, originally I was not, there was a few. I'm kidding myself because I ended up getting all of every single Zelf. But originally there was a few that I was like, okay, well, I don't really just want a big version of the small version. But now seeing them compared and side by side, even though we'll show you the even the ones that are big versions of the smaller versions, like the Angela La or Angel Lala, they've still got chubbier cheeks and just a different kind of look to them and shape of face. So it is a different thing, and it's good for creating families. Like there's children that like to sort of put the big with the small, and it looks like, you've got the angel family and you've got this kind of family. So that's really cute. So we've got Yvette, the vet, and with a whole shelf filled with animal-esque kind of things, she would definitely come in handy. She's like a vet / doctor. She's got a thing, and she's got her little nurse's cap. She's a mouse, a very cute looking mouse self, and her tail goes into a little heart then she's got the ruffles around her and the little bow on the back, so she's absolutely gorgeous. And I love her little tail. She's definitely one of my favorites. How many times have I said that? Tell me. And Sheffrey. Look at Sheffrey, another Series 6 special, but he's gorgeous. There's not that many male characters that you can tell, but the ones that are there are very cute. They've got Hightail. Hightail, the unicorn Pegasus. I don't know why, but she just has this punk kind of vibe to me. Just, I don't know. They've all got the spiky hair, but something about her, just the wings and the horn, you'd think it would be very childlike, but I don't know, something about her. She seems quite punk in like in a tame Zelf kind of way. She's got the tail and very shimmery wings. Definitely cool. Lachlan. There's actually an interesting story about Lachlan, because Lachlan is meant to represent the Loch Ness Monster, so you can look that up. The legend, we're knocking people over, in Scotland, of the Loch Ness Monster, and there's the little cute Loch Ness Monster decal kind of thing over there, and the tail and fins on the back of the leg over there. So we've got Lachlan, the Loch Ness Monster Zelf, and that I had to get twice, because the first parcel that had, where I was trading some duplicates with another lady who had Lachlan, a few people have said that Lachlan was one of the last that they got. I thought he was going to be my last, but actually Bella Blossom was, so he was the second last one that I got out of the larges. He was not only hard to find and hard to find someone to trade with. The first person who had Lachlan, that package, for whatever reason, my postie decided to leave that package just downstairs in my apartment block. And the first package with Lachlan in it was stolen. Or kidnapped. So we had Zelf-napped. So we actually had Lachlan the Loch Ness Monster was both hard to find, and then he was taken. So I had to find him twice. And I thought that was particularly synchronous, because his whole atmosphere, his whole shtick, his whole thing is being hidden and mysterious. So it took a while. It makes sense that it took a while to get him. Then we had the two Angela Lars, or I like to call it Angel Lava. And I decided that this one's the male, this double is the male, and this is female. And I originally had some doubles that I was using to trade or to make customs, like that, like this guy. He is a custom one that I made of Dandelion. However, I was going to sort of do a Sailor Moon thing with it and put the moon, because it's already got that moon tone, and add some diamantes on. I may do that, I'm not sure, but I sort of decided they were a family, and that it would sort of look like Papa Angel and Mama Angel. So a lot of the time they kind of end up doing their own thing. We've got Buttershy, Saran, Lady B, Little D. Wow. talking about that can go a bit wrong. And we've got Luna and that light, she looks like she's crying, but she's just got a little bit of shininess. They've all got the moon on her. I really love her design. One of the favorite designs on there. And the wings. Not the favorite wings, but one of the favorite designs. Luna Ann. Zebby, the zebra. Ah! Knocking everyone off, are we? Zebby. So we got Zebby. And you hear so many people complain about vertical filming, so I decided to film horizontally, but it's really hard. Now I see why. It's really hard to keep it steady at the same time, so I'm sorry if some of the pictures gave you seasickness. And then we have the, see, that's the lucky horseshoe, Pegasus, Billy the duck, and I've picked up most of these, but would be here is already a very long video that I'm going to break up. But if there was any you wanted to see more detail, I would be more than happy to do that. It's very long. Ah, Daisy May. I got there. Daisy May. She'll still have to grow on me. I like her. I like all of them, but I can't say I love her yet. I'm sorry, little one. But there's just, this one needs to grow on me a bit more. Then we have Skye Lana. She's beautiful. Absolutely love her. She's very cool. She's a dragon. And she's got the crystally blue wings and tail. She's got pastel blue with the pink. You may not be able to quite see that. And then she's got the little teeth. So she's very cool. Oh, I'll fix them. And everyone's favorite guy, Hallie. He is one of the few male Zelfs. He's extremely cute. He's a wolf. His Zelf power is bravery. Or boldness, I think. Boldness. And he's actually got the fluffy tail, not a plastic tail. There's a few, like Hallie, that have the fluffy tail. And the sort of cool feathered hair. Blackened hair. He's one of the few that has grey and black colours to him, and that is a male, and almost got, I wouldn't say, got a slight edge to him. You know, he's still cute because he's a Zelf, but he's got the little pointed feet. Yeah, he's just got a little bit of his own character to him, which is really cool. He's quite unique, but he's still distinctively a Zelf. But he comes close to not being a Zelf in the way that Smoothie the Monkey does. Because once they start getting too much of the animal features, you kind of lose the Zelf shape a little bit. And here we have Moonflight. She is stunning. She has really nice colors to her. So we have Moonflight. And in my top 5, and in some Zelf groups and forums there were polls done, he was definitely in the top 10. We absolutely love Mr. Birchie. He's one of the few men as well. Little Birchie woodland spirit with his little horns, and he doesn't have a hoof. Kind of reminds me of Pan, the green man. Then we have Joy Drop, a little butterfly one. Uma, the red panda over here. I'm not going to pull them all off, but she's got a little tail. She's cute. And she was one of the last ones I got. I was so happy to get her. Mary Poppins over here, the fairy godmother. Wishka. That reminds me of Nirvana for some reason. And we've got the little bow and her golden wings. Yeah, the wings are okay, but I mostly like the bow and the crown on her. It's really pretty. And she's got the wand, fairy godmother, and stars going up her legs. We've got Almanda and Marsha, the Martian Zelf. She, I've made it very clear I love my alien space themed ones. She's absolutely adorable. She also has the cutest chubby cheeks, rosy cheeks, and the little heart. And I really like the message behind this one because Marsha is meant to be the welcoming Zelf, and her Zelf power is basically making people feel at home because she knows what it's like to be an alien. So she's pretty much, story-wise, one of the nicest Zelfs. A little sweetheart, although they're all really nice. They're all so lovely. We have Webina again in her large form. Snow Anne, very beautiful snow leopard. Miss Tutu and Snowflake. There's some that on the box it says, most of them say they're a girl, but I swear Snowflake is a boy. He's got this very boyish, cheeky, you can just see him coming at you and throwing a snowball at you. With Miss Tutu over here. We have Teeny Genie and Diddy Dot the Dalmatian. And Teeny Genie was one of those ones that took me a while to warm up to, and I'm still warming up to this large version. Perhaps because her eyes look particularly black. She's just got this cheeky gin, or the lamp kind of look to her, so I'm just sort of getting used to that one. But I've had her, she's one of the newer ones, or the last ones I collected, so I quite like the rainbow hair. Then we've got Diddy Dot over here, and I've put her little clip, her puppy clip in her hair. They all come with clips and charms, but I rarely put it in their hair because I like having it free. Then we have Kewpie, Crystal Kewpie, because we had Kewpie that I showed you before down there. We've got the Crystal series, so we've got Kewpie and Moonbeam. You know who she is in the Crystal version. Howlette. Now this one was part of a pack called Butterfly Friends, and this one is Bellafly. She didn't come with the little healing archway. That went with, oh, I poked her over there. The healing dragon. But I just felt like she felt like sitting there, and I take turns in putting them. Oh, the Kitsune spirit. We've got Kitsu. You look into Japanese folklore, Kitsune is a very interesting part of Japanese folklore. And he is definitely a favorite of mine, and a sentimental one like Birchie. I I absolutely love the design. I love kitsunes in general and the folklore that goes around them and the little fox. I love foxes. And I just love that. I just love the aesthetic, period. I just love the moon on the forehead, and the whole vibe of this one is extremely cute and mysterious. Definitely a favorite. So it goes up there with the magic crystal ones that I've kept them together. And I change them around, but I change up the themes and who says next to. And then we've got Wishbeam here. And she is the only Zelf that has makeup around her eyes, besides Princess Tear, but that's, I don't know if it's makeup or her skin, but this one's definitely meant to be eyeshadow. And she is the only one where they've given her shoes. See, they've got the little shoes. And she's got the strap here. This came off a Novi Star, this little skirt, but I just felt she's the only one I felt the need to put clothes on, because it just looks cute. And I just felt that seeing that she had shoes and a top and a bow and bracelets and makeup, it kind of felt weird not to have some clothes on her. The others seem more like, I don't know, not animals, but it feels right for them to be naked. They don't seem to need, but she was so dressed up that it just felt like, well, why stop there, you know? So she crossed the line. But she's just got this magical wish beam, and it just looks so cute on her. And she comes over there. And this was Magic Ella, but I call her, well, now him in my mind, Magic Elias, because, I mean, look at that face. I don't know about you, but that looks like a boy to me. Looks like a boy, and they look like a pair of brother and sister, or maybe they just work together on their magic, like Penn and Teller. Which one's the silent one? But he actually spins around here. He can spin around, and his head moves as well. So they all do that. But I'm calling him Magic Elias, and he comes with a lamp. He's pretty cool. He's part of the Crystal series, but he's got this little lamp that I stand him in front of. But he could also... he can also stand up like that. He's meant to be displayed like it looks like he's coming out of the lamp like that. Then we've got the Moonicorn and the little heavenly gate that actually moves over here. The little gate. That's very cute. And with the Rainbow Cupie, they did this bizarre thing. They've given so many of them all these little details where this rolls at the front. And he's very detailed. But then this wheel doesn't move. So he's in this little chariot where one wheel moves, but this wheel is just a display. So I feel like if they're going to go to that much detail with the design, I would have absolutely loved it if the whole thing could move. Because it's more, like this is more of a wheelbarrow than a chariot. And I think as a kid, I mostly display these, but I think as a kid it would be so much more fun to drive the chariot around with two wheels. But he's still beautiful. And I suppose that you're mostly flying around the air, aren't you? So... you don't really need to drive when you can fly. So I think I will clear out a space and fix up the ones that have fallen over. And I'm going to put Tahleen, the final Zelf, with all of the others. So I hope you've enjoyed the final video in the Zelf Shelf series. And there'll be more Zelf related things to come, but that is a comprehensive look at all of the Zelfs. And I can always go back to any of them in more detail if you want, but I think I've well and truly covered all of the Zelfs and all of their names. And I've tried to make the video somewhat relaxing, so if it's helped put you to sleep, I'm glad I could cure your insomnia. Alright, well, thank you for watching and keep zelfing.